Hello everyone, my name is Andy. Today I will introduce about outpatient clinic database system. This is my agenda about my presentation today. First, I will introduce about general information on this database system. Second, I will list some table that stores some information about this system. Then I will explain about UML data modeling based on my analysis about the system. Then I will explain about the entity relationship diagram of the system. Next, I will show the structures of database and some test data in some table. Other table test data will be provided in the compressed file that will be submitted to the canvas. The last thing I want to introduce the supporting functionalities, such as this system allows user could edit the data entry like patient information. For example, it can change the address or insurance and so on. This main purpose of this database is support, store and retrieve patient information details such as patient demographic information or provider information. This system will support the provide visit information including time and facility and the patient health history details. It also provides the clinical care information including recording of signs and symptoms, discharge, diagnosis and prescriptions, and orders and results of exam tests or procedures. It also provides a list of room information and the bill detail information of each patient for payment. There are some basic information will be stored on this database, such as patient information, including financial information, contact information. This database also stores the provider information, the patient visit information, including the vital sign, the treatment information, the laboratory testing, the diseases, prescription. It also stores the billing details, information for payment, and the list of the rooms in this clinic. This image shows the list of UML objects on this database. For example, the patient object has the financial information and the contact information. The patient could visit the clinic many times. The patient could set the appointment with the provider, and so on. Based on the UML data modeling, I designed the entity relationship diagram like the image on the screen. There are some type of relationships such as one-to-many or one-to-one. They are reflected on this diagram. This is a structure of this database. It will show on the left-hand side the list of images. Test data will be shown on the next slides. This is a part of test data for the patient table. I use the select statement to get the test data. This is a part of test data for the provider table. The other test data of the tables will be provided in the SQL scripts inside the compressed file that will be submitted to the canvas. The last thing I will show is the supporting functionalities. This database will support some functionalities such as allow the user could edit the raw information, for example, the patient address or insurance. It will support searching the patient record based on the name or another information such as the visit dates. I will use updated statement SQL. It also supports the reporting functions. For example, it could list on the patients who satisfy certain selection conditions, such as who visited on the certain days or who have been seen by a certain provider or doctor, and so on. In this slide, I will use the update statement to allow the user could edit the draw information. For example, in this case, I update the patient with the ID 1 and I update the patient address, and the second statement I update the insurance for the patient has the ID 1. The next I will use the select statement to search the patient has the middle name contains the UT characters. In this slide, I use the complex select statement to search the patient based on the visit date. In this case, I search the patient has the ID is 1. The results show the date which this patient visit the clinic. I use the complex select statement to search the list of patients who satisfy certain selection conditions, such as who visited on certain days. In this case, I search the list of patients has visited date from March 22nd to March 25. The results show the date and the list of patients visited the clinic. Thank you so much for your listening my presentation. If you have any questions, please contact me.